Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this May the 28th, 2023. I hope everybody have a great Sunday out there. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. And I hope everybody enjoys the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we'll talk about the Northwestern Tropical Atlantic across the Northwestern Atlantic here, and also the east coast of the United States. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Monday, and Tuesday. And also, we're going to take a look at the 7-day rainfall total across the nation for the next 7 days. If you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have somebody watching this video. Can somebody help me get 2 more subscribers? I will be at 400. When I reach that 400 subscriber mark, you will definitely see me in my Facebook uniform giving out a milestone message to all the viewers on YouTube here that support my channel, and the ones that have not subscribed to my channel. You will see me on there. So if you can get me to 400 this afternoon, you will see me in my Facebook uniform. So if there's anybody out there that can help a brother out to reach 400, so that way I can reach another milestone on my page. My next milestone after that will be 450. 450. So I'm begging everybody, please help a brother out. Give me the 400. Give me the 450. I greatly appreciate it. I'm begging everybody out there to do that for a brother. I greatly appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel, who supports my channel. I thank y'all very much for supporting it. And I need all the help I can get from y'all folks. I'm a good person, and I need all the help I can get from everybody out there in my community. I'd greatly appreciate it. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into the forecast now. As you can see, we got looking at the satellite loop for the Northwestern Tropical Atlantic and also the east coast of the United States. We have some shower and thunderstorm activity just kind of blowing up across the tropical Atlantic here, from the Bahamas all the way toward Bermuda and also over into the northern Atlantic. We got a stalled frontal boundary pretty much just draped right across this vicinity here, and that's why these showers and little bubbles of atmospheric moisture also south of the front bubbling up, producing those shower and thunderstorms. The Bahamas to Bermuda to that cold front that's draped across this region right here. There's that little low pressure system that was spinning that brought all the rain to Florida and also to Georgia and also to South Carolina. It's slowly making landfall right up here around Wilmington, North Carolina. It will continue to push on off to the north and kind of just meander around over South Carolina. So I'm expecting shower and thunderstorm to maybe continue possibly into Tuesday, as that low just kind of sits there and just meanders and spins over North Carolina and maybe over South Carolina as well. So I'm going to keep the rain chances in our forecast here in South Carolina for generally pretty much through Tuesday at about 20 to 40% at best. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next graphic. We're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Does this thing every time, this old pop-up box, dude. But anyway, there's that little system here spinning down here near the Wilmington, North Carolina area, producing showers, maybe a few thunderstorms along the outer banks, some heavy showers, maybe rumble of thunder too in portion of western North Carolina, back in the portion of Indiana and Ohio, and also into West Virginia and back into Virginia as well. Dry conditions over the northeastern United States. Dry conditions down here pretty much from Georgia all the way back into portions of northern Louisiana, Arkansas. Got some scattered showers around portions of the Bahamas. Also, we got scattered showers on the island here around Puerto Rico. Also got more scattered showers around the Hawaiian Islands down here as well. Scattered shower and thunderstorm in the Gulf of Mexico, extending through Mexico and also into southern Texas and West Texas. We got a clustered shower and thunderstorm moving into Oklahoma. Also, we got some shower activity over southwestern portion of Kansas. Also, we got more activity in central Kansas through Nebraska. Also into North and South Dakota as well. Got more scattered activity over southern Canada. Also over here in portions of Wyoming, also back into Idaho, back into Utah, and also a little bit over here in Colorado, Nevada, and California as well. Maybe a little bit of mixed precipitation, possibly over portions of Montana, Idaho, and maybe over here in northern Utah today as well. We got some scattered activity over central and south portion of Alaska. Guam radar is still currently down at this time. Alright, let's move on to the watches, warnings, and advisories across the nation. As you can see, we still got some special weather statements over portions of Vermont and also in the northern New York. Still got a flash flood watches in effect for portions of northwest Mississippi. Air quality alert for portions of southeast Louisiana and also southeast Texas. Also in northeast Texas as well, and also a little bit over here in portions Indiana, and also over here in Missouri and Illinois. Also portions of Missouri. Also in the southeastern portions of Minnesota. We got some special weather statements, fire weather issues up here in portions of Wisconsin into Minnesota, northern Minnesota, eastern North Dakota. We still got them area rivers going on, area river flooding going on, that is, over north and South Dakota. Over here in portions of Idaho, Nevada, back into Utah, and also into portions of Colorado, and also into portions of New Mexico and Arizona. A little bit down here in Texas and the Mexican border. Also got a flood advisory, flood warnings over Oklahoma and portions of Texas. Also into portions of southern Nebraska. Some flood advisories over portions of, like I said, Colorado there as well. Flood watches in effect for the mountains of California and Nevada. Also special weather statements there as well. That should take care of the United States. Hawaiian Island looks good. And also down here in Alaska, got a few special weather statements and also a few flood advisories also in Alaska as well. Okay, I don't know why that thing did that, but anyway, here's the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. As you can see, we have general thunderstorms over a portion of Virginia down into South Carolina, also down into eastern Florida, southeast Florida that is, over Alabama, also general thunderstorms over Texas, all the way into portions of North Dakota, back over to Montana, back into portions excuse me, in the eastern Washington State, Oregon, also into northern California, Nevada, back into portions of New Mexico. We have a marginal risk from Texas all the way into portions of North Dakota. We have a slight risk of severe weather with portions of northeast Texas into the panhandle of northeast Texas, that is, into portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. And if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Laredo, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Brownville, Texas, Midland, Texas. Also, the slight risk includes Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Pampa, Texas, and Boulder, Texas. Let's take a look at the tornado probability for today. Less than 2% in all areas, so that's good news there. Winds 5% from North Dakota back down into west central Texas, South Texas as well. 15% over here in the panhandle of Texas into portions of Kansas. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Laredo, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Brownville, Texas, Midland, Texas. Also, the 15% include Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Hayes, Kansas, and Pampa, Texas. Let's take a look at the hail probability. Same in the vicinities here from Texas to North Dakota. Also in the Texas, also in the Kansas. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Laredo, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas. Also 15% include Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Hayes, Kansas, and Pampa, Texas as well, and surrounding areas. Let's take a look at day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay, general thunderstorm still in effect for portions of the Carolinas, also into portions of West Virginia and Virginia, also down in southeast Florida. General thunderstorm from Texas all the way to North Dakota, portions of Minnesota, back to portions of Montana, back to Idaho, back into portions of southeastern portions of Oregon, Northern California, Northern Nevada. We have a marginal risk over portions of Colorado, back in the North and South Dakota as well, including Kansas. And if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, South Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Mitchell, South Dakota, and Perry, South Dakota. Take a look at the tornado probability, less than 2% in all areas. Winds, 5% in the same vicinity. This includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Mitchell, South Dakota, and Perry, South Dakota. Let's take a look at the hail probability, still 5% in the same vicinities. This includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Mitchell, South Dakota, and Perry, South Dakota for large hail. Let's take a look at day 3. Okay, it's coming up. We still got general thunderstorm from portions of Virginia back into West Virginia, and also into Kentucky, Tennessee, into the Carolinas. Also again down here in southeast Florida and the Florida Keys. Also back into Texas, all the way to Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the way back over to North Dakota, back into Minnesota, Oregon, back into Northern California, Northern Nevada. Marginal risk includes portions of Oklahoma through Kansas, Nebraska, all the way to South Dakota. Also into portions of northwest Iowa, western Minnesota, and southeastern portions of North Dakota. And if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Grand Island, Nebraska, Canary, Nebraska, Garden City, Kansas. Let's take a look at the probability. We got 5% generally in portions of Nebraska through Kansas, all the way into Minnesota and South Dakota and North Dakota and Nebraska as well. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Grand Island, Nebraska, Canary Island, and Garden City, Kansas. Alrighty, and let's take a look at the rainfall total for the next 7 days across the nation. The heaviest precipitation will be falling out into the Atlantic Ocean, also down in the portion of Florida, Gulf of Mexico as well. Also into portions of Panhandle, Florida, all the way up into southwest Georgia, southeast Alabama, up here portions of North Carolina, also the Outer Banks of North Carolina as well, offshore there too, into portions of Virginia, also into portions of Kentucky and West Virginia, and also northeastern Tennessee. This here should fall from this system was falling up there today and again tomorrow. So that's where this should come from that little upper level low, making landfall into portions of Wilmington area right now. This here, right down here, I think this is another system here, and this is another system I'm going to be watching toward the end of the week that could impact the southeast United States coast as a little weak tropical depression, or maybe a weak tropical storm, or just a low pressure system like this one we just had. Something I would keep an eye on. I would just want to let everybody give everybody a heads up on that as well. Alrighty, we got more heavy precipitation over a portion of northern Mexico through Texas, also into the Midwest, over here in Kansas, Nebraska, back into Colorado, Wyoming, back into Montana, and southern Canada as well. Lighter amounts pretty much over the northeastern United States, but some dry areas as well. Also portions of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, portion of the South, portion of the Southeast, lighter amount of precipitation. Dry precipitation pretty much, dry weather pretty much over portion of New Mexico, Arizona, Southern California, Southern Nevada, and also over here in Washington, Oregon State. Lighter amount of precipitation elsewhere. Alrighty, well I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. And we'll catch you back in the next video.